All right, Carrie, thanks very much. 7:14, South Bend Mayor James Mueller joins us. We appreciate you always stopping by this morning. We thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you. Right at the top of the bat, the Indiana legislature is about to start its new session, and when Senate Enrolled Act 1 was passed into law, at the time, even supporters say, if there are some things that we didn't get right, we can come back and fix it. I know a number of mayors and other community leaders have met just recently talking about what can happen in the legislature to try to, quote, fix Senate Enrolled Act 1. Do you agree that there are some things that need to happen to try to address some issues that you think could be problematic?
I think everyone agrees there needs to be some changes. I think the state legislature agrees there needs to be changes. The property tax, I think there's still some interest in making sure that the relief or more relief is able to go to where it's needed most on the property tax side. But from the cities and counties and local government side, the property tax revenue changes aren't the biggest concern. It's the income tax changes that are coming down in 2028, starting in 2028.
So describe that. So income tax changes, the ability for you to levy taxes to try to make up from some of that lost revenue?
Well, no, because so currently there's a county in St. Joseph County, there's a 1.75% local St. Joseph County income tax, and that gets distributed to the county, to the cities, and different jurisdictions. In 2028, that goes away completely, and they change the system where cities and counties can each levy up to 1.2%. But the city's only within their boundary, the county countywide. And so what the result of that is going to be likely rising income taxes for city residents, not just in South Bend, but across the state, for the same or lower service level. Because they've changed it so substantially, if this policy were not tweaked, you would likely see cuts to public safety, and you'd really be cutting in the muscle and bone, but also at the same time an increase in income taxes. So I don't think anybody thinks that's a good idea. So I'm confident that as we work through this, there'll be some better policy changes ahead.
So would that be your number one suggestion to state lawmakers to try to address that issue?
Well, the income tax changes were pitched as this is going to help local governments deal with the property tax. In many ways, I wish they had not touched income taxes at all. We would be in a much better place had they not touched income taxes at all.
Even with the property tax cut law?
Even because there was still room, you could have increased it, but it wouldn't be the increases that you're going to see under this law. And
So have you had any talks with Republicans specifically about this issue? I know you're in contact with lots of different stripes of lawmakers, but have you had contact with the Republicans who really, quite honestly, let's be frank, have the sway to try to maybe affect some of these changes? Yeah,
there's been a lot of conversations. I think the challenge is each county is in a different situation than perhaps even St. Joseph County and others. So it's trying to find that policy that works to address the needs across the state. So, that's the challenge of any policy, but we do know this policy doesn't work for communities across the state. So we will see changes, and hopefully for the better.
Okay, I want to ask you one more quick question. It's about Portage Manor. We had the story this morning about a push to try to develop some of that property and that land. St. Thomas More Academy is trying to turn that into a school, essentially using private dollars. Are you in favor, even though it's a county property, it's still within the city of South Bend, about the future of what happens with Portage Manor and at least this plan?
Yeah, the county leaders have a decision to make here in the coming days, weeks. I don't know exactly their timeline, but we would like to see, as any part of the city, a vibrant neighborhood that forms there. Obviously, we just talked about the property tax and income tax constraints. We'd like to see taxable uses to the extent possible to expand the tax base. I don't know exactly when the county leaders will make a decision, but we're pushing for, we'd like to see taxable uses and to build up that area of town.
Well, this is not a taxable use though, right? This would be a private Catholic school, so
Correct.
There would be no tax. So
Correct.
Are you not in favor of this?
Well, that makes it more challenging. We need to expand the tax base. We'd like to see a vibrant neighborhood up there. It's in the city. But again, the county owns it, and we hope they'll make a decision soon.
Okay, Mayor Mueller, thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
It is now 7:18.